This is Jabron at the Keyed Up Show. We got a special guest, Warren G, today. Thank you for joining us, man. First off, it's an honor to have you. So how's your day going? How are you dealing with this, the quarantine and all that? What you've been up to?
Oh, good. Thank you for having me. Just spending time with my family. Still, getting out a little bit and, social distancing style. And, I may have a drink here, but it's outside in a way. I might eat here, and we're kind of like in our own space and stuff like that. And just getting a chance to, think about a lot of things, like a lot of the work I've done, catching up on that, like looking back like, damn, I did all of that, and just staying safe and staying out the way and just digging into my music.
Yeah.
My sauces and rubs.
Yes, and I can't wait to talk about that, man, because I've been seeing that on your Instagram, and that's just first off, I'm gonna order some after this because I love barbecue, especially being in Texas and all that. But and that's great. Speaking of music, man, like tell me how you got into music. I know you loved collecting records like jazz, soul, funk records and things like that. But how did you get into that?
My pops, he used to, him and my mother had divorced, and then when it was my turn to go over, when he used to, she would send us over to his house, me and my sisters, and he just used to play a lot of good music, jazz mainly, and a lot of the, jazz, Isaac Brothers, the records that I was raised up on, but he just used to play a lot of that music, and I just fell in love with it, just, being able to spend time with him and sit there, and we would just lay down and just listen to music all day. He had his incense and stuff going, and chilling. Oh yeah.
That's always amazing to hear, and I love asking that question because I'm a drummer too, and I got that from my dad as well. Like there's always usually some kind of family member that influences you to at least get into music, or hey, here's my record player, here are my vinyls, listen to this. So I was just interested in that, and it's just amazing how you kind of brought that influence, into your own music and all that stuff. So going back, Dr. Dre was your stepbrother. Were you both into music, or did you kind of influence each other? How did that happen?
Yeah, Dre was a DJ.
Yeah.
He actually taught me how to DJ.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was like, man, show me how to do that, and he showed me how to DJ, and I just started. I wanted to be like him. I was the little brother out of me, him and Tyree, and I looked up to both of them. Just so much. And wanted to be like them. And so he showed me how, and I just took it from there. Just started DJing, around the neighborhood, and we had a crew called the Voltron crew. It was me, Snoop, and the twins, and just a bunch of the young kids from the neighborhood, and we used to sell candy, and that was like our time to get away and try to make money at the same time. But what it did was it gave us a opportunity to express ourselves through hip hop. So we would be rapping, and stuff like that, and just having a good time, battling each other. And I used to cheat a little bit because Dre, by that time, he was with the World Class Wrecking Crew, so he had something called Cabbage Patch, and he let me get the tape. I used to play it all day. I just memorize the whole song, and so I started rapping his parts.
Yeah.
When I was with the Voltron crew, and they was like, "Damn, you hard in the motherfucker." But I was cheating, but I could rap now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Just, it was sounding good. So I was just cheating a little bit. because we had some good guys. That
Mm.
was real good. Yeah.
That's really cool. So how did you and basically how did you meet Nate and Snoop and y'all formed 213? So how did all of that happen?
Me, Snoop, and his brother Jerry, we all went to elementary school together.
Oh wow.
And we all, even with Nate, we all our hub was Kings Park, where we used to get our free lunches.
Mm.
Used to be in a lot of sports there, swimming. And we also used to go to Cal State Long Beach. They had a program for inner city kids where they would bus us up there. You know, they would feed us, teach us sports, all this stuff. So we was all in this whole, like, it was like another school, you know, but it was all of the kids in the neighborhood, because that's all we had. That was our hub. That was where we all met each other and built our relationships right there in Kings Park. And that's the epicenter of how all of us met each other. Me, Snoop, Nate, the twin, everybody. Even Domino, like everybody. I'm telling you, everybody that from the Long Beach area that was our hub right there, Kings Park, and we all created our relationships right there, and then it carried on, and we all, you know, been around each other this whole time.
Yeah, and it's amazing too how just that community, whenever you released music, especially like, you know, you always hear about 2 and 3 and how you guys really went from town to town around your community, and just like you did it that way versus now it's like, you know, putting a story in the link on Instagram and
cassette tape.
Yeah.
Hit the 2 buttons, hit both of them, and record, dub that CD, that tape, I mean, and they would take the tape, they dub it, and then everybody would just dub the tapes, and the tape would get dubbed and just spread around the whole neighborhood. That was like some serious underground promotion back then, but it worked because everybody started knowing who we was. Like the buzz was like, damn, who was 213?
Yeah.
You know, we created that buzz.
Yeah, and it's just amazing, man. Nowadays people miss that. You know, of course we had the big resurgence of vinyls and records, and then now I heard the other day that VHS tapes are becoming big again. Since the pandemic, people just want something to collect, you know. It's pretty crazy.
A bunch of VHS tapes.
Yeah, same here. I still have a lot of them. I don't know, it's just cool to have something physical, you know. It just gives you memories when you hold it. And of course tapes, CDs, vinyls, and all that, so it's crazy. And you know, after you went into the solo part of your career, so how did you get with Russel, Simmons, and Def Jam?
Well, I was at the studio with Snoop and Dre, everybody. They was recording What's My Motherfucking Name, and John Singleton and Paul Stewart was there, and they were looking for songs for the Porter Justice soundtrack, and that's what Dre and Snoop was doing. So me and Paul Stewart went to the car. He was like, well, let me hear it. So I was like, well, all right. So we walked to the car, and I popped the tape in the cassette deck, and I started playing the record. And he was like, stop. And I felt kind of like, dang, he don't even like the record, you know. So he was like, can I take this with me to listen to it? And I said, yeah, it's fine. And he called me that Monday, and was like, we want this record that you have here to be our first single on the Porter Justice soundtrack. And that was No Smoke. And I was just so happy just to for them loving the music. I was blown away, and just like, that was my first time ever professionally being put out.
Yeah.
That was the very first time, and that was Endo Smoke with Nate Dogg and Mr. Graham.
Yeah, that's incredible. And that then eventually led to you collaborating with Tupac, right? So how was that? How was that
Uh,
experience?
well, actually, you know what, I did a record for MC Breed,
Mm-hmm.
uh, uh, called "You Gotta Get Yours." You gotta get yours, I gotta get mine.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get yours. It was him and Tupac, and that was like some of my first production I did, just as a producer. Um, and I went did the beat, didn't think nothing of it, mixed it and let him have it, because I knew Tupac, but I didn't know him like that. He wasn't like big then. MC Breed had a name. He had Ain't No Future in Your Front. So I was like, wow, I'm working with MC Breed. And it was a dude named Rodney G who I met through DLC. DLC actually made the whole connection. And Rodney G was his manager, so they plugged me with MC Breed.
Mm-hmm.
And Rodney G, I think, was managing MC Breed. So he was like, look, we got $8,000 for you. And I was like, all right.
I'll take it.
I didn't have shit. So I was like, okay. And did the record, and it turned out to be a big record for MC Breed. And then, so I really did, I knew Tupac kind of, but not that good then.
Mm.
And so when I did Endo Smoke on the Poetic Justice soundtrack, he had reached out to John Singleton, them like, who did that record Endo Smoke?
Mm-hmm.
They was like, well, Warren G did it. So he called, but when he called, I didn't, I was like, who was this? He was like, this Tupac. And I was like, this ain't no Tupac, because he was in the movie, so he had started blowing up everything. He had Soldier Story. I think that was the name, one of the songs he had out. All I Wanted to Be. One of them records. I can't remember what exactly the name, but so he wanted the guy who did Endo Smoke, so they told him it was me. So he called, and I was like, this ain't Tupac. And so I thought somebody was playing on my phone, so I hung the phone up.
Yeah.
And so he called back, and he was like, yo, Warren, this is Tupac. I'm not, I'm serious. It's Tupac from off of Poetic Justice. Mm-hmm. I said, for real? And he's like, you did Endo Smoke? I said, yeah. And he said, well, look, I'm working on this album called Thug Life, and I need a song for it, a beat from you. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, where you at? He was like, I'm at Echo Sound. And when he said Echo Sound, I knew exactly where it was because that's where I did Endo Smoke.
Yeah.
So I grabbed my Crater Records, I grabbed my MPC 60, and I grabbed my turntable and mixer and my 4.5. And I hopped in my Regal, smashed up the Echo Sound, and lo and behold, I walked in the door, it was Tupac. So I walked in, I started bringing all my stuff, I set up, and then, we just sat there and talked for a minute, and he was just like, what's up with you? It was like he was interviewing me, like, what's going on? So
yeah.
I was telling him I was kind of down, kind of upset. I wasn't around my brother. I wasn't around my best friend. I wasn't around my folks, so I kind of felt like left out and kind of just depressed a little bit, and told him, everything I was going through. I had got into a couple shootouts with some motherfuckers right around that time. And he just said, damn. So after that, he just got up. He said, you got a beat? And I said, yeah. So I popped in and, I had some samples loaded. So I started messing with the sample. That's when I had that Donald Byrd Wind Parade. And I hit it, boom, 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 boom. He's like, I like that right there. So I put it together, put the drums under it. And so I laid it all out, separated it, and we recorded it on a 2-inch reel. And right after the engineer recorded, he was like, let me go in the booth. So he went right in the booth. And back then they would turn down the speakers in the main room.
Yeah.
couldn't hear everything that what was going on. So he was in there recording and recording and recording. He was in there for about maybe 35, 40 minutes. And he came out and he stood in front of the board and he told him to play it. So he turned it on, he played it, it came in. I didn't have nothing in it yet, it just started. Boom, 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 boom. I had the drums locked.
Yeah.
The shit he started saying, I was like, God damn, he went right in the booth after everything we talked about. He went right in the booth and he wrote the song right there about everything I was talking about right there. And he wrote it down and he rapped about it. And so he was like, you got anything else you could put on there? So I did the scratches. If it is the season to be serving, what you doing? Mobbing like a motherfucker. So I did all my scratches and shit. And I started it off with nobody's closing me out of my business. Boom, 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 boom. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
So while we was there, a bunch of girls came in. It was nothing but girls, and that was the first time I hit a blunt. I hit the blunt because I had glasses on. I had tape on my shit. But Big Psych, Lil Psych, Rated R, Mac 10 from Thug Life, a Big Runner, Lil Runner, and they came in and they told Tupac, they was like, man, they buddy named Kato had got killed. So he was bummed out and he was like, Warren, he's like, I want to do a song about my homeboy, instead of sitting here, grieving and stuff. I want to do a song. You got something for me? And that's when I did How Long Will They Mourn Me? I put the beat up and he immediately went right in the booth and wrote the song of How Long Will They Mourn Me? And then he was like, man, what can we do for the hook? And I said, well, let me call Nate, dog. So I called Nate. I said, Nate, Tupac wants you to get on this song. Come up, man. He was like, you serious? I said, yeah. He said, all right, I'm on the way. Give me the address. So I gave him the address and Nate came up and killed it. How long will they mourn me? And they jumped on the record together and that's how that happened.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I'm just hearing you talk about it. I mean, that was probably like a lifetime experience, that you always look back at, That's great. So that dove into then you, after all of that, you dove into the solo career. Tell me what inspired that, and that whole deal, the whole album, and how it just really blew up.
What happened is from Endo Smoke, that actually went gold. Mm-hmm. And the record was bubbling so hard, a lot of record companies that started knocking on the door, do. And I'm like, wow. So I got a call saying that a lady by the name of Tracy Waples and a guy named Chris Lighty wanted to meet with me from Def Jam. And so I was like, Def Jam? Like, hell yeah. So we ate dinner and stuff. They flew in town and we had dinner and, it was real cool, but I still had, Arista and Jive and I had everybody on me.
Yeah.
And so I had to make a decision, like, or do these guys, or are they strictly hip hop, or they're just gonna take me and just put me on the shelf? So I had to think about it, and I thought about it. Crush Groove. I said, "Damn, Russell is connected with Crush Groove." Mm-hmm. So that's what Rick Rubin. That's them the two that came to my mind was Crush Groove, Rick Rubin and Russell Simmons, and they definitely. So I thought about it and I was like Beastie Boys, Fat Boys, LL Cool J, just everybody that was over there. I was like, oh my God! I said, and they want me, and I was like, because I was a fan of everybody.
Yeah, that must be cool.
And I said, I'm rolling with Def Jam, and we did the deal. I talked to Russell and Lior on the phone, and they flew me out there. Right after I did the deal, they flew me out, to come meet the whole staff. They showed me like some of the most incredible fun I ever had in my life.
Mm.
You know, and sometimes I wish I could rewind that shit, you know, just to get that feeling of how music was, how the world was, how people were back then. It was really genuine, and they showed me a lot of love, man, and you know that really made me work hard for myself and for the company, just to let people know this is what we doing. We coming in with fire.
Mm.
That was how I got signed right there.
Yeah.
And as far as Regulate, excuse me, but as far as Regulate, that was a situation where I went up to the studio. I was up there with Dre and Mike Lynn, and I told Mike Lynn, I said, man, I got this record I did. I want you to hear it. So he said, yeah, let me hear it. It might sound crazy, but he was like, we looking for songs for the Above the Rim soundtrack. So
yeah,
let him hear Regulate, and he was like, can I take this? I said, yeah. So he said, I want to let Jimmy hear it. So he let Jimmy hear it. Mike called me the next day and was like, we want this our first single for Above the Rim. And from there, shit, Def Jam we did a deal with Interscope to release the record, through Interscope for the soundtrack. And then what we did is we re-released it after it came out on Above the Rim. We re-released it for my album. So it sold 4 million for Above the Rim, and then came back over to me and sold another 3 million, and then worldwide altogether, with all said and done, 8.
Yeah.
Records sold. So it was big, man. That was the first record that record set it off. But you know, Endo Smoke set it off, but that set it off. And then I came right up under him with that This DJ. Boom. Then I hit with Do You See? Oh my God, it was over with. I was the Drake of the early 90s.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And like, and then I mean, and the whole, like, tell me what is G-Funk, like, for people that's tuning in who are getting into hip hop, who are younger, that would tune into this podcast. What is G-Funk? Tell me about it, and how it became such a legendary mark in hip hop.
Yeah, G-Funk is chords, strings, we brings melodies. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm. That's it right there.
That's it, man. It's great. It just explains in the song. You know what I mean? You can just show them regulators, the whole, you know, play the track. That's pretty cool. I dig it. So speaking of that, you know, going back to 2 and 3 and you know, Nate Dogg being on the track, what's your best memory of Nate Dogg? First off, R.I.P. Nate Dogg. But yeah, what's your kind of best memory or experience?
I mean, everything we did was the best memory. You know, us being in my apartment doing Regulate, in my house with dog shit everywhere.
Yeah.
After we did Regulate in my apartment, and just being able to, just us creating records together like Endo Smoke, nobody does it better. I Need a Light, you know, that was my partner, my duo partner, and you know, it just you know, it feels really different. Like, music ain't the same to me anymore. As far as, you know, I ain't got my dog with me, but I mean, I'm still doing good music, but it's like the people that I want on the records, they don't be understanding what they got. Nate understood everything. You know, he knew how to make a hit record. He knew how to compliment what I did. And today, a lot of motherfuckers don't know how to compliment what I do. You know, you got some that's good, like Dolla Sign on my single I just released, and you know that he's incredible on there, and he really showed everybody that.
Yeah.
You know, the collaboration between artists, it's all about music. It's not if this dude is older than me or younger than me. It's a collaboration of people that do good music, and we do good music. So that's what that was about, and that's why that record is moving so good right now. And it ain't even on mainstream radio right now.
Yeah, and I've been jamming that all week, man. And tell me about that. Like, just so people know, guys, the single's called "And You Know That," featuring Dolla Sign. I really love the artwork too. Yeah, it kind of explains who you are, you know, like your environment. But tell me about that track and how you kind of got set up with Dolla Sign.
Well, Ty Dolla Sign, he hit me one time on a video shoot, and I did they had a performance, and I did regulate in a performance with him and YG, and he was doing a video shoot. So he was like, man, you know, can you come do a cameo in a video shoot? I was like, cool. So I came up there, and we had a powwow talk. You know, we was talking, and he was like, do you know what I wanted to tell you? Was that my dad sold you your first equipment. And I was like, well, who was your pops? He was like, his name is Tyrone. He worked at Nadine's. I said, Tyrone from Nadine? That's your pop? He was like, yeah. And he sold me my first equipment. That Tyrone was cool.
Wow, that's crazy.
We just been cool ever since. And every time I get at him, you know, if I need him on something, he down with it. If he need me on anything, I'm right there with him. And the collaboration was just classic. You know, he knew exactly what to do. And he actually told me that Indo Smoke is the first record that he learned musically, and it's one of his favorite records, actually his all-time favorite. So it's all good. And his last name is Griffin, and my last name is Griffin.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Y'all meant to
I don't know, but we might be. And that's a trip.
Yeah, it's cool because he has such a melodic voice, and like when he sings choruses and things like that. I first found out about him when he did that Suicide Squad soundtrack, and then when I heard that, I was like, damn, dude, that sounds like a 1990s kind of West Coast chorus, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a lot of soul too.
Yes,
really good. Yeah. So your son plays USC football, and you played football in your younger days. So how does it feel to kind of bring that carry that legacy over to him?
I mean, it feels great. You know, he doing his thing, building his own stage. You know, he not riding off it because he's my son. He built his own, his own fame, his own stage by being good, and he been doing it since he was 4 years old. You know, him and my oldest son Warren, they just wanted to play football, and I was like, dang, y'all want to play? I said, you know, I didn't force it on them. They asked to play. So they got in it, and just it never stopped, you know. And I always just been there for him, just to support him and what he wanted to do. And any of my kids, whatever they want to do, I'm there to support him, to try to help them. You know, as a dad, you know, Warren G ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just, you know, just being a dad. And but I'm really, really proud of him for you know, stepping up and becoming a young man, and you know, being accountable and responsible at the same time. And you know, hopefully in this next year he'll be going to the NFL.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be cool, man. That's nice. So this is exciting. So tell me about Sniffin Griffins BBQ, how it all started, what inspired you, all that stuff.
Well, it was inspired by my father, Warren Griffin Jr. That's the top dog. I'm the third, but he just used to barbecue at all the functions and tell us all kind of stories about when he was in the Navy and how he boxed in the Navy, and just used to just be clowning and having good times, you know, with our family around and everybody just having a good time, and it stuck with me. So when I used to be around my friends, when I was able to, I would pull out the grill, you know, and just cook. We'd be on the spot. I'd pull out the grill, you know, fired up, chicken wings, so it stuck with me, and he inspired me, and just watching, once I Doug really just wanted to do it so much, I started um, researching other guys that did it, trying to see how I could become a great pit master. So it just stuck with me, and I've been cooking and doing stuff for a lot of my friends. So I catered like a lot of some corporate parties like Levi's,
Oh,
YouTube parties and stuff like that. And everybody was just like, "This is the best." Not because I'm Warren G, but they
yeah.
the best barbecue I've ever had in my life, and it was blowing me away. So it was like, well, why? All my friends was like, "Why you don't have no products out there?" Uh, along with it and taking it serious. And I was like, let me try it. So for the last like about 3 or 4 years, I've been doing it. Just putting together, different styles as far as seasonings and rubs and barbecue sauce. I had friends that helped me with that.
Yeah.
Put that stuff together, and along with what I wanted is what my vision was, and man, it was a good thing, and that's how it started. And, I just I love to smoke meat, and even barbecue. I like to barbecue and I like to smoke meat, but in the barbecue world, in the smoker world, barbecuing is hot and fast. That's when you're barbecuing, but then in the straight smoking world, it's just patiently smoking the meat,
Yeah.
6, 7 hours, till it fall off the bone.
That's the goal. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Well, I'll make sure to attach a link to the site on there too. People can check it out. I'm about to get myself some as well because I love barbecuing and seasoning and all that. Seasoning meat.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Barbecue.com. I have Charlie send it to you, so you'll know the exact.
Sounds good. All right, well, this is Warren G. Everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is the Keyed Up Show.
Yeah, thank you for having me, man, and much love to everybody out there in Houston. I got family, tons of family out there too. The 3rd Ward, the 5th Ward. I got family all over there. Griffin. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Come on down, man. We'll come on down. Yeah, for sure. Once it's safe, once we can meet each other again.
I wish SC would have played Alabama and was gonna be at the Dallas Stadium.
Oh, nice.
Real nice. But they canceled it. But hopefully at the end of the year, they some type of playoff thing, a situation where we can have a national championship. But it's all good, man. Thanks for having me.